I'm Sarah Jenkins, the Senior Account Director here at Marks & Spencer. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Good morning, Sarah. The pleasure is mine. Thank you for having me today.
Of course. Please, make yourself comfortable. Did you have any trouble finding us?
None at all. Your directions were perfectly clear.
Excellent. Well, let's begin. We're very excited about your application. As you know, the account manager role is pivotal in nurturing our partnerships and ensuring our clients, who are essential to our business, feel valued and supported. This interview will help us understand your experience and approach. I'll ask a series of questions, and please, feel free to be detailed in your responses.
Of course, I'm ready.
To start, could you please walk me through your professional and educational background?
Certainly. I hold a bachelor's degree in business management from the University of Leeds. For the past 4 years, I have been working as an account manager at a retail solutions firm, where I managed a portfolio of key clients. My primary focus was on developing strategic account plans, driving client retention, and identifying growth opportunities, which resulted in a consistent 15% year-over-year revenue increase for my accounts. I am particularly passionate about building long-term partnerships, and I am very excited about the opportunity to bring that experience to a heritage brand like Marks & Spencer.
That's an excellent and concise overview, David. It's clear you have a strong, results-oriented background in client management, which is precisely what we look for. Thank you for that. Now, let's delve a bit deeper into your experience. Could you please describe your approach to managing client relationships and accounts?
Certainly. In my previous role as an account manager, I was responsible for a wide range of clients from different sectors. My main goal was always to build strong, trusting relationships. I did this through regular communication, truly listening to their needs, and offering solutions that were right for them. For example, I held quarterly business reviews to discuss their progress and get their feedback. This hands-on approach helped increase client satisfaction and retention, which contributed to the company's growth.
Managing multiple clients can be demanding. How do you prioritize and manage several accounts at the same time?
I use a strategic method to stay organized. I begin by identifying which tasks are most urgent and important for each client. I use tools like a priority matrix and daily to-do lists to plan my time effectively. I also schedule regular check-in calls with each client to keep updated and manage their expectations. Using project management software helps me track deadlines and progress, so nothing is missed.
What specific strategies do you use to maintain strong, long-term relationships with clients?
I believe in being proactive and personal. Regular check-ins and feedback sessions are key to building trust. I also make an effort to remember personal details, like their business anniversaries or their team's achievements, which makes our interactions more genuine. Most importantly, I always respond quickly to their questions or concerns, which shows I am committed to their success.
How would you approach upselling or cross-selling an additional M&S product or service to an existing, happy client?
My approach is always based on adding value for the client. First, I need to deeply understand their current goals and challenges. Then, I would only suggest a new product if I truly believe it will help them succeed. I would present it in a way that focuses on the benefits for them, and I would listen carefully to their response to see if they are interested.
Can you give me a specific example of how you resolved a conflict or handled a difficult situation with a client?
Of course. Once, a client was very upset because a delivery of theirs was delayed. I immediately scheduled a call to listen to their frustrations without interrupting. I apologized for the issue and explained transparently why the delay happened. I then worked with them to create a new, faster timeline. By keeping communication open and honest, I was able to regain their trust, and they were very happy with the final outcome.
What methods do you use to stay organized and ensure you never miss a deadline?
Staying organized is a priority for me. I rely on digital tools like Asana or Trello to track all my tasks and deadlines. I also keep a simple daily planner for my most immediate actions. I block out specific times in my calendar for focused work and for client calls. This system helps me stay on top of everything and deliver on time.
How would you handle a situation where a client has expectations that we cannot meet, for example, an unrealistic deadline for a new product launch?
Clear and kind communication is essential here. I would first listen to understand why the deadline is so important to them. Then, I would gently explain our standard process and timelines, helping them understand the challenges. Instead of just saying no, I would work with them to find a realistic solution or a compromise that still moves them toward their goal. This builds trust, even when we can't do exactly what they asked.
Describe the process you would use to onboard a new client here at Marks & Spencer.
Onboarding sets the tone for the entire relationship. I would start with a kickoff meeting to welcome them, understand their business goals, and set clear expectations. I would then create a simple, clear onboarding plan, introduce them to their key contacts at M&S, and schedule their initial training sessions. I would have regular check-ins in the first few weeks to answer questions and gather feedback to make sure everything is going smoothly.
The retail industry is always changing. How do you stay updated on industry trends that could affect your clients?
I make it a habit to stay informed. I read industry news and reports regularly. I also attend webinars and follow key retail experts on social media. This helps me anticipate changes and gives me valuable insights that I can share with my clients to help them prepare.
What key metrics would you look at to measure the success of an account you're managing?
I would look at a few important numbers. First, revenue growth and contract renewals. But just as important is client happiness, which I would measure through satisfaction surveys and their feedback in our meetings. I'd also look at how engaged they are with our services. All these metrics together give a full picture of the account's health.
How do you approach setting and achieving revenue targets for your accounts?
I start by looking at the account's past performance and their future potential. I talk with the client to understand their growth goals for the year. Then, I create a clear plan with specific targets and identify opportunities for upselling that align with their needs. I monitor progress regularly and adjust the plan if needed to make sure we hit our targets.
Can you describe a time you successfully won back a dissatisfied client?
Yes. I had a client who was leaving due to a service issue. I asked for a final meeting, where I listened carefully to their complaints and apologized sincerely. I then presented a new plan that directly addressed their concerns. We agreed on new service standards, and I personally managed the account closely for the next few months. As a result, they were so pleased with the turnaround that they not only stayed but also increased their business with us 6 months later.
At M&S, collaboration is key. How would you work with other departments, like marketing or logistics, to meet a client's needs?
I see myself as the link between the client and M&S. If a client has a complex need, I would immediately bring together the right people from our internal teams. I would explain the client's goal clearly and then work with the team to brainstorm the best solution. Regular communication ensures everyone is aligned and we can deliver a great result for the client.
What CRM or customer management tools are you familiar with?
I have experience with several, including Salesforce and HubSpot. I use them to track all client interactions, schedule follow-ups, and monitor the sales pipeline. I'm a quick learner and am confident I could get up to speed with any system M&S uses.
How do you prepare for an important client meeting?
Preparation is everything. I first review the client's history and any previous conversations. I then create a clear agenda with the meeting's goals and share it with the client beforehand. During the meeting, I listen more than I talk and take good notes. Afterward, I always send a summary email with the key decisions and next steps, so everyone is on the same page.
Imagine a key client's sales are falling. How would you create and present a new strategy to help them?
First, I would analyze their sales data and research market trends to understand why. I would then collaborate with our M&S marketing and insights teams to get their perspective. I would create a simple, clear presentation that shows my findings and proposes a practical plan to help boost their sales. In the meeting, I would focus on how this strategy benefits them and would actively seek their input to refine it together.
What would you do if a client asked for something that goes against M&S company policy?
I would handle this with transparency. I would listen carefully to their request to understand the why behind it. I would then politely explain our policy and the reason it exists. My next step would be to see if there is a different, acceptable way within our guidelines to achieve what they need. If not, I would be honest about the limitation, as this honesty builds long-term trust.
What steps do you believe are most important for ensuring clients stay with us for the long term?
The most important steps are consistent communication, delivering on our promises, and showing the client they are valued. By regularly checking in, acting on their feedback, and demonstrating how our partnership helps their business grow, you build a foundation of trust that makes them want to stay.
How do you stay motivated when dealing with a challenging account or during a slow period?
I stay motivated by focusing on small wins and the long-term goal. I break down big challenges into smaller, manageable tasks. I also lean on my team for support and fresh ideas. Remembering past successes where I turned a difficult situation around also gives me the energy to keep pushing forward.
Can you give an example of an account you grew significantly?
I once managed a client who started with a small, basic service package. Over a year, by building a strong relationship and consistently demonstrating value, I identified opportunities for them to expand. I presented a case showing how a larger package would improve their results. They agreed, and their spending with us increased by 150% over the next year, becoming one of our most valuable accounts.
How do you balance the need to nurture existing accounts with the need to find new business?
It's about smart time management. My primary focus is always on ensuring my current clients are happy and successful, as that is the foundation of our business. I then block out specific time each week for business development activities, like prospecting or networking. Using a CRM helps me manage my time effectively between these two important areas.
How would you approach forecasting sales for your accounts?
I would use a mix of data and conversation. I'd look at the account's past sales history and any seasonal trends. But most importantly, I would talk to my clients about their own business forecasts and plans for the upcoming quarter or year. Combining this data with my knowledge of our new products gives me a realistic forecast.
How do you handle critical feedback from a client?
I see feedback as a gift. I listen without getting defensive and thank them for being honest. I ask questions to make sure I fully understand the issue. Then, I assure them I will look into it and get back to them with a plan. Following up is critical to show them I have taken their feedback seriously.
Describe a time you had to say no to a client request. How did you handle it?
A client once asked for a custom feature that was outside the scope of our agreement and would have required significant resources. I explained why it wasn't feasible at that time, but I also offered a good alternative that required less effort but still addressed their core need. They appreciated the honesty and the alternative solution, which strengthened our relationship.
And finally, in your opinion, what are the 3 most important skills for an account manager to possess?
I believe the top 3 are, first, excellent communication, to listen, understand, and explain clearly. Second, strong problem solving, to navigate challenges and find solutions. And third, organization, to manage multiple clients and priorities effectively. Together, these skills allow you to build trust and drive success for both the client and the company.
A very concise and accurate summary, David. Thank you. That covers all of my planned questions. We've spoken a lot about the role and my expectations, so now I'd like to turn it over to you. Do you have any questions for me about the position, the team, or anything about Marks and Spencer?
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, I do have one question. Based on our conversation today, what would you say is the most immediate challenge the successful candidate will need to focus on in their first 3 months? Thank you for explaining that.
You're very welcome. Now, we do have a couple more candidates to speak with this week. Our process is that we will be making a decision early next week, and you can expect a call or email from our HR team by next Wednesday at the latest with an update.
That sounds perfect. Thank you for the timeline.
Thank you again for your time today, David. It was a genuine pleasure speaking with you. Your insights into client relationship management were particularly impressive. We will be in touch very soon.
Thank you, Sarah. The pleasure was all mine. I truly appreciate you taking the time to meet with me and for such an engaging conversation. I am even more enthusiastic about this opportunity and look forward to hearing from the team. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too, David. Take care, and safe travels home.